Welcome, Renee.
Thank you.
I'm really pleased to have you as our VA in the spotlight. As I said to you a little while ago, I saw you put a little post up on one of our Facebook groups, and it just struck a chord with me because you mentioned how 12 months ago, life was very different to what it is now, and how, and then I looked back and thought, I was thinking, when did you do your training with us? And it was really, well, where are we now? So today we're at the end of November. So it really has only been 6 months ago that you actually did your training and got yourself set up as a VA, right?
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about your journey and what got you thinking about being a VA. And I know, like, in terms of, like, what I really loved about it was the fact that you've turned what could have been a really difficult situation into, well, it would be quite difficult, but you've given yourself an opportunity to be able to work wherever you are. So talk us through all that.
Yeah, okay. So I've got two young girls, and I've always worked, and that's probably the thing I miss the most about having my kids is, what do I do now? I want to get back to work, but doing a normal 9-to-5 job just isn't capable at the moment. My partner works FIFO, so he's away on normal times. He's away 7 on, 7 off. But because of COVID, he spent 5 months away this year. And last year, I think it was 4.5 months in total. So I needed to be able to do something that could be super flexible, that I could be at home, I could do the preschool runs, I could be there for dinner and gymnastics and all the things. So my original idea, it kind of morphed from what I originally wanted. I wanted to do bookkeeping to start with. And so I enrolled in the bookkeeping course, and then I thought, well, this is great. I love bookkeeping, but I don't want to just do bookkeeping. And a girlfriend of mine was starting her own business, and she just had not much of an idea on what to do, business, admin side, business management, setting it up. So I just jumped in and helped her do it. And then I went, well, if you need help doing this, I'm sure other people would. So that's where it sort of come about. I hadn't actually heard of a VA before until someone told me about your course. And then I went, oh, there is a thing.
Yeah, you kind of stumbled upon it, right?
Yeah. So I did the bookkeeping course, and then straight after that, I think I had to postpone your course so that I could finish the bookkeeping course. But I just knew it was exactly what I wanted to do. So I just kept talking about it to everybody I could, everyone that had stopped and listened. I'd tell them, this is what I'm doing. And that's how it sort of all come about.
Wow, that's pretty exciting. And it's almost like necessity being the mother of invention has really come out and worked its magic in your life.
Yeah.
So you mentioned in your post too, which I was like, oh my gosh, there was a couple of like, oh my God moments when I read your post, where you said so bearing in mind it's only 6 months ago, which is really great. And we do see a lot of VAs get traction very quickly at the moment. And I just think there's an explosion of requirements for VAs actually. Which is fantastic. But you did say that, you just got another client on board and you were looking at employees. So business went from just you to even contemplating having an employee. That's huge.
Yeah. So I'm at the stage now where I don't want to say no to everyone. I really love doing it. And I've originally thought of going down the subcontractor avenue, but I really think that I just want to build the business and have someone in that can grow and be passionate about it with me. I've got a lot of hands-on clients, so may be difficult to pass on to a subcontractor, but it would be perfect for an employee that, you know, we can share the clients rather than me subcontracting a client out.
That's amazing. Like,
yeah,
it really, really, really is amazing. And it's great that you've thought about that too, because we don't always have to just go subcontractors. You know, sometimes an employee is actually the right fit for our business. So you don't have to discount the whole the employee stuff, you know. I think that can be very relevant. In fact, I know a couple of VAs now who have pulled in employees. So it's a really interesting business model, and I'll be really watching to see how you go, because I think that that's really setting a standard that we haven't seen before. In terms of your training, like, I'd really like to know how that helped you too. Did you find that was like the kickstart you needed? How did you get on with that?
Definitely. I think it was the confidence I needed too. I knew that I had the skills, but it was that kickstart. Somebody else has done it. It is a thing. It's not something that I've just made up in my head. And, you know, having all the documents already there for us, I've changed them a little bit, but having that, knowing that you needed it, and how to onboard a client and things like that, that's what I was kind of terrified of. Like, how do I start that?
You and the rest of the world, like, that's the biggest fear that people have is, number one, well, the biggest fear is, or the roadblock is, finding clients. Well, you've already done that. You were talking to everybody you knew before you got started, which is great. And then the actual, you know, getting them in, like, what do I do? And how do I look like a professional when I don't really know what I'm doing? And I think, you know, that helps you set yourself up professionally. So good on you for doing that. And you did the small groups as well, I seem to remember, with Louise. Yes.
Yeah, I did it with Louise. I think there was 4 of us in the group, and it was perfect. It was so good because I think you could bounce ideas off things and questions I hadn't thought of. But when one of the other ladies would ask it, I was like, oh, of course, like, I need to know that.
It's like your brain's trust.
yeah. So it was really good. I think that was beneficial, because I was really tossing up between the small group or the private. And in the end, I was like, no, that was a good fit for me.
Yeah, and everyone's different, you know, like everyone is different in how they learn. So that's really great to hear that feedback. I think like, what really excites me is that your future is just unfolding. It's just beginning. So, and how does it feel, you know, in terms of family, work-life balance? How did you manage all that with work?
It's really great, because I've been completely upfront with people, and I actually see quite a few posts on your group page with people asking about, you know, how can you do it as a mum? What if I can't do 9 till 5 or whatever? Well, I don't do any of my clients 9 to 5. And I'm just completely upfront with them. You know, Monday and Friday are the days the girls are at home. So yeah, I do jump on and off, but some Mondays I might work from 9 till 12. Others I might not get it done till 7 o'clock at night when they're in bed. It just depends on how they are. And I think because I've been completely upfront with that, the clients are totally fine with it.
Yeah, and that's a really big thing, because people are afraid that, you know, that will actually will make them less of a VA, I think, because they don't necessarily have the availability to do what we class as traditional office hours. But I say the opposite. You don't have to do traditional office hours, you know.
And I've got, as I said, like, I've got Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday where I don't have the girls, but because Mick has been away, a lot of times that Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is, I've got to fit everything in, because you know, some days I might do other personal errands that I have to get done, and then I still work at night instead. So I'm just very open with my clients on what I'll do. And I do find a lot of the work isn't like it doesn't have the deadlines that they might need, something.
So it's not so time sensitive, and you're delivering outcomes more than anything, by the sound.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
That's a great balance that you've struck, you know.
Yeah.
And did it sort of take you long to find your feet, or did you find that it sort of was a fairly simple progression?
I think it's because I had been talking about it for probably 6 to 12 months. I was like, this is happening and this is what I'm doing. That sort of things was fine. I kept saying the whole time, the first few clients are going to be really hard to get. And then I think it'll go well. But how I'm going to get those first few, I don't know. But it just come from talking to people. And even if those people I spoke to didn't, they were like, that's such a great idea. You can see you're passionate about it. I'm going to share your post. And as soon as I was actually hounding you and Mel especially, because I didn't think it had all happened so quick. And then I'm like chasing for my email, chasing for my website. I'm like, I'm not ready yet, but you don't want to say no. So I put up on Instagram, I think, and got, I think it was 3 inquiries the first night I put Instagram up, and I was like, whoa, what's going on? So,
the universe has spoken.
Yeah, I was like, okay, that wasn't as hard as I thought. But I think it honestly just come because I didn't keep it a secret. It was just something that I knew as soon as I come up with the idea, I was like, yep, this is me. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. So, yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
So what would your advice be to anyone who's contemplating getting set up as a VA, knowing what you know now?
I think that definitely if it's something you're passionate about, I feel like go for it. There is plenty of work out there. It's becoming something that everyone knows about now. When I first started talking about it, they were like, what is a VA? Like, what? And even sometimes I kind of judge who I'm talking to what I call myself, because I still do get some strange looks on what's a VA. So instead of scaring them off with it, I say I'm a business assistant or but I just think go for it. Definitely do the course, because that will set you up and make you feel more confident. And then just talk to everybody.
Talk. And that's the thing, is like, get out there and talk to people like you did even before you get things set up, because you can start to gauge, and actually it probably builds a little bit of more confidence in you that this is the thing that's going to happen for you. Yeah,
talk yourself into it type thing, you know.
Oh, that's such good. That's really interesting, and I'm really pleased for you. And
Thank you.
yes, sort of a huge success in terms of, you know, getting started and getting to this point. So thanks for your time. And also, I have to acknowledge we are wearing the same colours, but that was not a prerequisite. It just happened like that. Anyway, Rene, really appreciate your time. Thank you so much for jumping on and doing this, because I'm sure that your story will resonate for a lot of people with young kids, people who are just not sure about taking the leap, and, you know, second guessing themselves. It is possible. And like you said, there is so much work out there, so much work. And you just need a strategy for getting out there and doing it, and not giving up, because
that's right. And just like not necessarily picking who you talk to, because you never know who knows who. And
that's right.
So not even doing it intentionally to sell. Just if you tell someone, then they'll be like, oh, I know someone that knows someone.
Yeah. And that's the truth. That is the truth. We cannot ever know who other people do know. And that can be the link. It's a word of mouth referral. And we love those. We love those so much. So, all right. Well, look, I'm going to end it there. I really appreciate your time. And I'm sure anyone who's got any questions will definitely tap you on the shoulder.
Sure.
But thank you again, Rene.
No worries. Thanks, Ingrid.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.